Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the One Star Week Foot Show with your host, One Star Week Foot, yours truly. And today we got a bunch of things to talk about in football news. First off, a bunch of managers have gotten fired. All right, Lyon has fired their manager. Rumor is that Blanc is going to be taking over for the guy that they fired in Lyon. Apparently, they offered it to Mourinho.
I have nothing to say.
But Mourinho wants a job in England. So I'm wondering, is he waiting for the Spurs job to open up? Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Second of all, the second manager that got fired was the AC Milan manager, and they've already gotten a replacement, Stefano Pioli. And it makes me wonder, okay, in AC Milan, what is happening? Because I don't follow Serie A. However, I do know that they've made a bunch of good signings throughout the last couple transfer windows, and they do look to have a good team on paper. So what is it with the team that is causing them to underperform? If there are any AC Milan fans watching the video, let me know in the comment section down below what's going on with your team. And I do not mean any disrespect because I'm an Everton fan. And as you guys know, Everton is doing probably worse than AC Milan. And their manager is just under just as much pressure as the AC Milan manager right now. So yeah, no harm meant. But speaking of Milan, we do have to talk about a new player that EA dropped today in the team of the week. It's going to be in form, Theo Hernandez. Alright guys, let's take a look at his card. 6 foot tall, alright, high medium work rates, left footed, of course, he's a left back. He got the 3-star combination. I played 6 games in division rivals with him, and I actually got the goal, no assists. Before we go any further though, if you guys are enjoying the content, don't forget to hit the like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. I appreciate all you guys for watching, man. You could be doing anything in the world, but you're here with me. Let's look at this card a little bit closer. So he got 93 pace, and that is one of the things that you might be bringing this card into your team to do, is pace up and down the wing. His passing stats are possibly a liability. I mean, 51 vision, 56 long passing. I mean, he needs to get his eyes checked, doesn't he? He has 79 dribbling, and that's probably going to feel decent in game. 81 agility at 6 foot tall is pretty decent for a defender. 84 dribbling, 70 composure though. Is that going to let him down? We're going to see. His defending stats look pretty mediocre, I'm not going to lie to you, but 81 stand tackling looks nice. 84 slide tackling looks even nicer. His 64 defensive awareness though looks kind of ugly, not going to lie to you. His physical stats are probably one of the other good things about this card. He has 84 strength, 79 aggression, and he's 6 foot tall, so you already know he's going to be very strong going into the challenge. Let me show you guys how I play this team, because you might be wondering, how is this team going to be played? I mean, there's a bunch of weird pieces here, and I'll show you guys. So I'm playing this team in the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, and it looks just like this in game. At the beginning of the game, I do sub out Rebic for Witzel, so don't worry, I'm not playing Rebic at CDM. I have Lucas Hernandez here playing left back on balanced and overlap because I want to test them both offensively and defensively. So without further ado, we're going to bring you to our review specialist, One Star Week Foot in the studios. Take it away, One Star. Thanks, One Star. Guys at home, don't you think my hair looks really nice today? I mean, I think I'm looking quite spiffy myself, but we're here to talk about 81 Theo Hernandez. Is he worth it? All right. Right now, Footbin says he's going for about 70,000 coins on the market, which I think is a bit inflated because it is the first day out. It is the first day he's in packs. I do anticipate him to drop quite a bit. What would I say is a fair value for him? I would say 50,000 coins or under. We're going to break down the stats so you know exactly what to expect at home if you're using this card. So 93 pace. Is it as fast as advertised? And I would say absolutely. This guy's probably the quickest fullback I've used on this game, and I've used quite a few fullbacks. 93 pace is absolutely amazing. He has the acceleration coming out of skill moves. He has the acceleration tracking back. He has the sprint speed to keep up with any attacker on this game, and it's quite a joy to use, especially since you guys know pace is insane this year. And this guy is able to have your back covered if you're facing those really pacey attackers, those pace abusers. So overall, I got to give his pace a 9.5 out of 10. It's scintillating. Next, we're going to talk about his passing, all right? Because you look at his passing, and he has some good stats, and he has some bad stats. So let's talk about the good. 83 short passing. How does it feel in game? He feels very reliable when it comes to build-up play. If you're making the smart passes, he'll be able to have the nice weight on the ball. He'll be able to really not be a liability when it comes to build-up play. I'll put it that way. His 51 vision and 56 long passing. How does it feel in game? Honestly, I didn't really notice it at all. I did try a few long passes and they weren't too bad. However, if you're the kind of person who likes to use your left back to send over the top through balls to your winger, you might have a bad time when it comes to that. His crossing was actually pretty good. I sent a few crosses into the box. I even sent a few long, low crosses into the box. He was able to execute them very, very well. Overall, I gotta give his passing a 7 out of 10. Do not long pass with this card and he will be okay. Next, we're gonna talk about his dribbling. How does it feel in game? Is he able to dribble? Is he able to push up and give you some extra support on the wings? And I would say yes, actually. I expected him to feel clunky, right? Because in game, he's actually pretty big for a left back. He's probably the biggest left back I've used on this game, and he only has 81 agility. But he does feel pretty smooth on the ball. He's able to accelerate out of the skill moves very quickly, which is an asset when it comes to dribbling. And his ball control, even though it's only 75, his reactions, even though it's only 71, it doesn't really feel too bad. I was able to dribble around the wing. I was able to dribble in and around the box and create opportunities just using his dribbling. I think he was very tidy on the ball for somebody who's mainly a defender, and I thought it wasn't really a liability at all. How does his 70 composure figure into this card? And I don't think his 70 composure was a liability, all right? I didn't notice it defensively. I didn't notice it offensively. I think his composure is not really going to let him down. However, if you're really worried about it, you could probably throw a Guardian Chem style on him. It'll bring him to 75 composure, and it'll also improve his dribbling. Next, we're going to talk about his defending. All right, he has 75 defending, so you must be like, this guy's gonna feel very sloppy going into the challenges. And you can't be any more wrong than that. This guy's standing tackle is one of the standout attributes of his card, all right? Going into the challenge, because he has 84 strength, because he's 6 foot tall, and because he seems to have those long Spider Vieira legs, he's able to put in a lot of challenges, and he goes in very strong, very aggressively into the challenge, and he comes away with the ball more times than not. I came up against a lot of quick attackers where I had to come from behind them and wrap my leg around them to get a tackle in. He was able to do that very, very successfully and very cleanly nonetheless. How do I feel about his interceptions only at 73? Honestly, he was very decent interception-wise. I mean, some of this is probably due to the fact that he has 93 pace, so even when he's out of position, and he is out of position sometimes because of his 64 defensive awareness, he's still able to cover the ground. He's still able to reach those balls with his long legs. And if you like to manually drag your players back into place, which is what I do defensively, you're really going to enjoy this card defensively. Honestly, I felt defensively he was an 8 out of 10. His standing tackle was a joy to behold. His interceptions were better than expected. And the only weakness I would say he has is his marking. But if you bring him back into position, which you should be doing anyway, I don't think it's a liability at all. Finally, we're gonna talk about his physical. How was it in game? All right, so first off, let me tell you this. He scored a header for me. It's FIFA 20 and this card scored a header for me. I was absolutely surprised. But he was able to score that header for me. 66 jumping at 6 foot tall is not really a liability, all right? He's going to be taller than most wingers. He's going to be able to win most things in the air. And I even saw him beating most strikers in the air to the ball. So I don't think his jumping is a liability. 78 stamina is kind of a liability, however. He did last 90 minutes, but I did notice at the end of the 90-minute mark, he did have kind of low stamina at that point. So if you go into 120 minutes, if you go into extra time, you may need a sub depending on how you play him. His 84 strength is amazing. Honestly, he is so strong, so aggressive going into challenges. He has a big body. He's able to shield the ball effectively. He's able to shoulder people off the ball. I really enjoy his strength. I really enjoy his physical. And overall, his physical is an 8 out of 10. So where would I place this card rating-wise? Okay, so we have to talk about his pros and cons. His pros, his pace is amazing. His standing tackle and physical ability is really, really good. He has really long legs, so his interceptions are really good actually because he covers a lot of ground with his pace and his long legs allow him to get to balls that he really shouldn't be able to get to. His dribbling is actually a pro. I think he's very good on the ball and his crossing is not bad. Now let's talk about his cons. His con mainly is his stamina and the fact that his defensive awareness is only 64. However, I don't think his defensive awareness really takes away from this card, being that you can drag him back into position, and I don't think his defensive awareness was that bad where it just completely ruins this card. His 78 stamina could use a little boost, which kind of sucks because there is no chemistry style for that. However, if you keep him on stay back, I do anticipate he could last the whole game. Overall, I gotta give this card an 8.75 out of 10. He's actually one of the best left backs I've used on this game. Comparing him to the other best left back I've used on this game, Ruslan, how does he compare? I think he's better defensively. Despite what the stats would have you believe, he's better defensively, all right? He's better physically. He's much quicker in game. And on the ball, they're very similar. The only thing that Ruslan is better at this Hernandez card at doing is pretty much passing. But other than that, I think Theo Hernandez is a much more complete defender, a much better player, and much more reliable going into the challenge, which is the most important thing. However, at 70,000 coins, I don't think he represents a value for money. So once again, wait for him to drop. Wait for him to drop to 40, 50K. I think he's probably going to be the best left back in the game for that money. So that's going to be my Theo Hernandez review. Hopefully you guys at home enjoyed it. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later in another video. Deuces.